and welcome back to Just Another Stitch. In this video, we are going to learn how to cast off in knitting. And the supplies that you will need for this tutorial or knitting needles, you can either use circular knitting needles like I am, or you can use 2 double-pointed needles. Now, I'm using 5mm knitting needles, but you can use whatever size needles that you're comfortable with. And for the yarn, I'm using Big Twist 4-weight yarn, but again, you can use whatever yarn you would like to use, but I would recommend either a 4 or a 5-weight yarn. And as you can see, I made my little swatch already. I used the long tail cast on method and cast it on 10 stitches. And then I did 5 rows of knit stitch, which is actually called garter stitch when you're knitting flat. So this is the garter stitch, and I'm going to be getting into that more in a later video. And all these tutorials to show how to do these things that you need for this swatch or in my beginner knit series playlist. So if you need to review how to do that, that's where you can find it. And I will be adding more tutorials in the future to that playlist. All right, so you want to make sure the rows you worked are on the right side of your needle, like this. And that's how you want your needles to be held. The working in your left and your empty needle in the right. All right, so we're going to knit 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. All right. So you want to take your needle and lift up this bottom stitch here. And pull it over that top stitch and off your needle. And you have just casted off 1 stitch. All right. Now we're going to knit 1 stitch. And we're going to take that bottom stitch and pull it over the top. And you just cast it off 2 stitches. And be careful because you want to kind of hold it down as you see I'm doing, so your stitches don't drop off, because that you need that 1 stitch remaining here. You don't want that to drop off. All right, so now you knit the next stitch. Take that bottom stitch, pull it over. You see how I have my hand? I'm holding it down to my needle so that this stitch here won't come off too. All right, knit another stitch. Pull that bottom stitch over. Knit another stitch. Bottom stitch over. Oops, that one was being ornery. All right, knit another stitch. Pull over. Oops. There. Knit another stitch. and pull that bottom stitch over the top. Knit another stitch. And pull over the top. Knit that last stitch. And pull that bottom stitch over. All right. And you have that final stitch left here. So you want to pull it up. All right, take your scissors and cut your yarn. And you want to leave a long enough tail to weave in your ends. All right, and what you want to do is you take that loop and you put it through. I'm sorry, you take that end piece, pull it through the loop. Like that. And you have cast it off. So now you know the basics to knitting, the basic stitches. And with these stitches, you can start making some basic projects in knitting. And this is the basic casting off method. You will learn in knitting there are other cast off methods. And if a pattern says to use a certain cast off method, then you need to use the cast off method that a pattern calls for. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's tutorial. And let me know how your knitting journey is going in the comments, your journey to learning how to knit. Until next time, I hope you have a fabulous yarny day. Bye.